Imagine yourself in a serene castle where the golden light of dusk casts long shadows across the land. Feel the cool, calm air of twilight as you walk beside Aidan through lush forests and ancient libraries. With each word, allow the story to lull you into a state of deep relaxation, guiding you gently towards sleep. As you listen, let go of any tension in your body and let your thoughts drift like leaves on a gentle stream. The adventure will unfold softly, carrying you away to a place of dreams where you can rest peacefully, knowing that you are safe and protected. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the tale guide you into a restful slumber. Chapter 1. The Discovery of the Enchanted Shield. Once upon a time, in the verdant and prosperous kingdom of Arendor, there lived a young prince named Aidan. His courage and benevolence were known far and wide, endearing him to his people and earning their unwavering loyalty. With the heart of a lion and the gentle spirit of a dove, Prince Aidan walked among his subjects, dispensing kindness and wisdom in equal measure. One golden-hued evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the castle grounds, Aidan found himself drawn to the ancient library nestled within the castle's heart. The library was a labyrinth of knowledge, with towering shelves crammed with scrolls and tomes, their secrets waiting to be unearthed. As Aidan wandered through the dusty aisles, his fingers brushing against the spines of countless books, a particular volume caught his eye. It was an old leather-bound book, its cover worn with age and inscribed with mysterious runes. Intrigued, Aidan pulled it from the shelf and gently opened it, revealing pages filled with delicate, intricate illustrations and elegant, flowing script. The book spoke of a legendary shield, forged by ancient magics, that possessed the power of protection. An enchanted shield that could defend against any foe and ward off any danger. As Aidan read, his heart quickened with excitement. The shield, according to the book, had been hidden away, waiting for a worthy soul to claim it. Its power was said to be unparalleled, capable of shielding entire kingdoms from harm. Aidan, ever the guardian of his people, knew that such a relic could be invaluable to Arendor. Within the book's fragile pages, Aidan discovered a folded parchment, a map that promised to lead the way to the enchanted shield. The map was a marvel of cartography, with detailed depictions of dense forests, meandering rivers, and towering mountains. Faded but legible, it charted a path from Arendor to a place deep within the wilderness, far beyond the reach of ordinary travelers. Aidan knew that the journey would be fraught with peril, but his resolve was unshakable. He carefully traced the route with his finger, committing every twist and turn to memory. As he did so, he felt a surge of anticipation. The prospect of such an adventure filled him with a sense of purpose. With the first light of dawn, Aidan shared his discovery with his closest confidants. His loyal steed, Luna, a horse as brave and spirited as her master, and his trusted squire, Elias, whose quick wit and unwavering loyalty had seen them through many trials. Together, they prepared for the journey ahead, gathering supplies and studying the map. As the sun rose, casting its warm glow over the kingdom, Aidan stood ready at the castle gates. The people of Arendor gathered to bid him farewell, their faces filled with admiration and hope. Aidan's parents, King Edric and Queen Isolde, bestowed their blessings upon him, their eyes shining with pride and a touch of apprehension. "You carry the hopes of Arendor with you, my son," King Edric said, placing a reassuring hand on Aidan's shoulder. "May the gods watch over you and guide your steps." With a final nod to his parents and a heartfelt wave to his people, Aidan mounted Luna and set off on his quest. The road ahead was long and winding, but Aidan's heart was light, buoyed by the promise of the enchanted shield and the protection it could bring to his beloved kingdom. As the castle receded into the distance and the landscape unfolded before him, Aidan felt a sense of exhilaration. He was a prince on a mission, bound by duty and driven by destiny. With Luna's steady gait and Elias's steadfast companionship, he ventured into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey took Aidan, Luna and Elias through the lush countryside of Arendor, where the rolling hills and vibrant meadows were a feast for the eyes. Birds sang melodies from the treetops, and the scent of wildflowers filled the air. It was a serene beginning to an adventure that promised to be anything but tranquil. As they ventured further from the familiar comforts of the castle, the terrain grew wilder. The paths became narrower, flanked by ancient trees that seemed to whisper secrets as the wind rustled their leaves. The map, though intricate, proved a reliable guide, its lines and symbols leading them deeper into the heart of the wilderness. One evening, as they made camp by a bubbling brook, Aidan unfurled the map once more. By the flickering light of the campfire, he traced their progress and the path that lay ahead. The map depicted a series of landmarks, a towering waterfall, a grove of ancient oaks, and finally, a cave hidden within a mountain range. Each landmark was drawn with exquisite detail, as if the cartographer had known the importance of this journey. "We're making good time," Elias observed, stirring the stew he was cooking over the fire. "According to the map, we should reach the waterfall by tomorrow afternoon." Aidan nodded, his eyes fixed on the parchment. "The journey will only get harder from here. We must stay vigilant. The shield is too important to be lost to the wilderness." Luna neighed softly, as if in agreement, and Aidan patted her flank reassuringly. The night passed peacefully, with the stars overhead serving as silent witnesses to their resolve. The next day, they broke camp early and resumed their journey. The terrain grew more rugged, the forest denser. Sunlight filtered through the canopy in golden shafts, creating a mystical ambience. As they pressed on, the sound of rushing water grew louder, heralding their approach to the waterfall. By midday, they emerged from the forest to find themselves at the edge of a breathtaking sight. The waterfall cascaded down a sheer cliff, its waters sparkling like liquid crystal in the sunlight. It was a place of serene beauty, untouched by the hands of time. As they stood in awe, Aidan noticed something unusual. At the base of the waterfall, partially concealed by the mist, was an ancient stone bridge. It looked sturdy enough, but there was an air of mystery about it. The map had marked this spot, and Aidan felt a thrill of recognition. "We need to cross that bridge," he said, his voice steady with determination. "The path continues on the other side." With Luna leading the way, they carefully made their way across the slippery stones. The mist from the waterfall enveloped them in a cool embrace, and the roar of the water filled their ears. Once they reached the other side, Aidan glanced back, feeling a sense of accomplishment. They were one step closer to their goal. As they ventured further, the forest began to thin, giving way to a grove of ancient oaks. The trees were massive, their gnarled branches stretching high into the sky. The air here was different, heavy with the scent of moss and earth, and there was a palpable sense of magic. "This must be the grove," Elias said, his voice hushed with reverence. "It's just as the map described." Aidan felt a shiver of anticipation. The cave was their next destination, and it lay beyond the grove, hidden within the mountains. He could feel the weight of destiny pressing upon him, urging him onward. "Let's keep moving," he said, determination hardening his voice. "The shield awaits." They pressed on, the grove soon giving way to the rugged foothills of the mountain range. The path grew steeper and more treacherous, but Aidan's resolve never wavered. He knew that the enchanted shield was within reach, and he would stop at nothing to claim it for the sake of Arendor. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the mountains, Aidan and his companions found a small clearing to rest for the night. Tomorrow they would reach the cave. Tomorrow they would face the next challenge in their quest for the enchanted shield. As dawn broke, its first light painting the mountains in hues of gold and pink, Aidan, Luna and Elias prepared to tackle the final leg of their journey. The air was crisp and cool, filled with the promise of discovery. They packed their belongings, extinguished the campfire, and set off toward the hidden cave. The path wound steeply upward, twisting through narrow passes and rocky outcrops. Each step brought them closer to the summit and the cave that lay just beyond. The higher they climbed, the more breathtaking the views became, with the landscape of Arendor unfurling like a tapestry below them. As they reached a plateau, they paused to catch their breath. The ascent had been challenging, but the sight before them was worth every effort. In the distance, nestled among jagged peaks, was the mouth of a cave. It was a dark, yawning opening in the mountainside, shrouded in mystery and shadow. "We're almost there," Aidan said, his voice tinged with both excitement and apprehension. "The cave holds the enchanted shield, but we must be prepared for whatever trials lie within." Elias nodded, his expression serious. "I've got your back, Aidan. We'll face it together." With renewed determination, they pressed on, their footsteps echoing off the rocky walls as they approached the cave. The entrance was flanked by ancient, weathered statues, guardians of a bygone era. Their stone eyes seemed to follow the travelers, as if silently assessing their worthiness. Taking a deep breath, Aidan led the way into the cave. The air inside was cool and damp, and the walls glistened with moisture. As they ventured deeper, the light from the entrance faded, and the cave's interior grew darker. Aidan lit a torch, its flickering flame casting eerie shadows on the walls. The path through the cave was narrow and winding, and the silence was profound, broken only by the occasional drip of water from the ceiling. They moved cautiously, their senses heightened, aware that danger could lurk around any corner. After what felt like an eternity, they emerged into a vast cavern. The ceiling soared high above, studded with glittering stalactites. In the center of the cavern, bathed in a shaft of ethereal light, stood a stone pedestal. Upon it rested the enchanted shield. Aidan approached the pedestal, his heart pounding with anticipation. The shield was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, its surface adorned with intricate runes that seemed to pulse with a soft inner light. As he reached out to touch it, a voice echoed through the cavern. "Who dares to seek the power of the enchanted shield?" A figure stepped from the shadows, cloaked in flowing robes. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and her presence exuded a sense of ancient wisdom. She was Eloan, the guardian of the shield. "I am Prince Aidan of Arendor," he replied, his voice steady. "I seek the shield to protect my kingdom and to defend the hidden kingdom of Eldoria from impending danger." Eloan studied him for a long moment, her gaze piercing. The shield's power is not to be taken lightly. It chooses its bearer wisely, and with it comes great responsibility. Are you prepared to face the trials and prove your worthiness? Aidan nodded, his resolve unwavering. "I am ready." Eloan gestured for him to step forward. "Then let the trials begin." The cavern transformed around them, the walls shifting to reveal 3 doors, each marked with a different symbol. One depicted a fierce dragon, the second a tranquil forest, and the third a glowing star. Eloan explained that each door led to a trial that would test Aidan's courage, wisdom, and heart. "Choose wisely, Prince Aidan," she said, "for the path you take will determine your fate." Aidan took a deep breath, his mind racing. He glanced at Elias, who gave him an encouraging nod. "I trust your judgment, Aidan. Whatever you choose, we'll face it together." Aidan turned back to the doors, his heart steady. With a sense of destiny guiding him, he reached for the door marked with the glowing star. As he pushed it open, a bright light enveloped him, and he stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face the trials that awaited. Aidan stepped through the door marked with the glowing star, and the bright light that enveloped him gradually dimmed. When his vision cleared, he found himself in a tranquil meadow, bathed in the golden glow of twilight. The air was warm and fragrant, filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the distant murmur of a gentle stream. Elias and Luna were nowhere to be seen. Aidan was alone, but he felt a sense of calm and purpose. Ahead of him, a narrow path wound through the meadow, leading towards a distant grove of ancient oaks. With the glowing star symbol still fresh in his mind, Aidan began to walk the path, each step bringing him closer to the grove. As he entered the grove, the light grew softer, filtered through the dense canopy of leaves. The atmosphere was serene, almost magical, and Aidan felt a deep connection to the place. It was as if the very air thrummed with ancient wisdom and power. In the heart of the grove stood a single oak, larger and older than all the others. Its trunk was gnarled and massive, its branches spreading out like protective arms. At the base of the tree sat a figure clad in simple, flowing robes. Her eyes were closed, and her face was serene, exuding an aura of timeless grace. This was Eloan, the guardian of the shield, in her true form. As Aidan approached, Eloan opened her eyes and regarded him with a gaze that seemed to pierce through his very soul. "Welcome, Prince Aidan," she said, her voice as gentle as a summer breeze. "You have chosen the path of the star, a path that tests the heart and spirit. Are you prepared to face the trials that lie ahead?" "I am," Aidan replied, his voice steady. "I will do whatever it takes to prove my worthiness." Eloan nodded, a faint smile playing on her lips. "Very well. Your first trial is one of compassion. Follow the path, and you will find a creature in need of your help. Only by showing true kindness and empathy will you pass this trial." With that, she closed her eyes once more, and Aidan felt a gentle push, urging him to continue along the path. He walked through the grove, his heart open and his senses alert. It wasn't long before he heard the sound of distressed cries coming from a thicket nearby. Pushing through the underbrush, Aidan discovered a young fawn trapped in a snare. The creature's eyes were wide with fear, and it struggled to free itself from the cruel trap. Without hesitation, Aidan knelt beside the fawn, speaking softly to calm it. His gentle words and soothing tone seemed to have an immediate effect, and the fawn stilled, trusting him. Carefully, Aidan worked to free the fawn from the snare, his fingers deft and sure. As he loosened the last knot, the fawn sprang free and nuzzled Aidan's hand gratefully before bounding away into the forest. Aidan watched it go, a warm feeling spreading through his chest. He knew he had passed the first trial. He continued along the path, the grove gradually giving way to a rocky clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a pedestal, atop which lay a simple wooden staff. Eloan appeared beside it, her expression serene. "You have shown compassion, Aidan," she said. "Now you must demonstrate wisdom. Take the staff and enter the cave beyond. Within, you will find a puzzle that only a clear mind and a keen intellect can solve." Aidan took the staff and bowed to Eloan. "Thank you. I will do my best." The entrance to the cave loomed ahead, dark and foreboding. Steeling himself, Aidan stepped inside, the staff's wooden surface warm and reassuring in his grip. The cave was dimly lit by glowing crystals embedded in the walls, casting an otherworldly light that guided his steps. Deep within the cave, he encountered an ancient stone door covered in intricate carvings. In the center was a circular indentation, and around it were numerous symbols, each glowing faintly. Aidan realized the symbols represented elements: earth, water, fire, and air, and that he needed to arrange them in a specific order to unlock the door. He studied the carvings, recalling his lessons in the ancient lore of Arendor. After a moment of contemplation, he placed the symbols in the order of creation: earth first, then water, followed by air, and finally fire. As he set the last symbol, the door rumbled open, revealing a chamber filled with light. Eloan appeared once more, her eyes filled with approval. "You have passed the trial of wisdom, Aidan. One final trial remains. It will test your courage and your heart. Are you ready?" Aidan nodded, his determination unwavering. "I am ready." Eloan's smile widened, and she gestured towards a path that led deeper into the cave. "Then proceed, and may your courage guide you." With a heart full of resolve, Aidan stepped forward, ready to face the final trial and prove his worthiness to claim the enchanted shield. With each step, the path grew narrower, the light from the glowing crystals dimming. The air grew cooler and denser, and Aidan felt a sense of anticipation building within him. He knew the final trial awaited, a test that would push him to his limits. But his heart remained steadfast, his resolve unwavering. As he ventured deeper, the narrow path opened into a vast cavern. The ceiling soared high above, and the walls were lined with glittering crystals that bathed the space in a soft, radiant light. In the center of the cavern stood a circular platform, and upon it rested the enchanted shield, gleaming with a mystical light. Standing before the platform was a towering figure clad in dark armor, a menacing aura emanating from him. His eyes glowed with a sinister red light, and a deep, resonant voice echoed through the cavern. "Welcome, Prince Aidan," the figure intoned. "I am Morgrath, the final guardian of the enchanted shield. To claim it, you must defeat me in combat and prove your courage and strength." Aidan stepped forward, his grip tightening on the wooden staff. "I accept your challenge, Morgrath. I will face you with all my heart and soul." Morgrath raised his sword, its blade crackling with dark energy. "Then let the final trial begin." With a swift motion, Morgrath charged at Aidan, his sword slicing through the air. Aidan parried the blow with his staff, the impact reverberating through his arms. The clash of wood and metal echoed through the cavern, and Aidan felt the weight of Morgrath's strength bearing down on him. But Aidan was not deterred. He moved with agility and precision, countering Morgrath's powerful strikes with calculated maneuvers. Each clash of their weapons sent sparks flying, illuminating the cavern with bursts of light. Aidan's heart pounded with the thrill of battle, and he felt a surge of energy coursing through him. As the battle raged on, Aidan began to notice a pattern in Morgrath's attacks. The Guardian's movements, though powerful, were predictable. With this insight, Aidan devised a plan. He feigned a retreat, drawing Morgrath into a trap. When Morgrath lunged, Aidan sidestepped and struck with all his might, disarming the Dark Guardian and sending his sword clattering to the ground. Morgrath staggered, and Aidan pressed his advantage. With a final decisive blow, he struck Morgrath's chest, the force of the impact knocking the Guardian to the ground. Morgrath lay still, his red eyes dimming, and Aidan stood victorious. The cavern fell silent, the only sound the soft hum of the crystals. Aidan approached the platform, his heart swelling with a sense of achievement. He reached out and grasped the enchanted shield, feeling its power surge through him. The shield was beautifully crafted, its surface etched with intricate runes that glowed with a soft inner light. As he held the shield, Eloan appeared beside him, her expression one of profound approval. "You have proven your courage, Aidan. You have faced the trials with a true heart and an unwavering spirit. The enchanted shield is yours, and with it, the power to protect those in need." Aidan bowed his head, humbled by her words. "Thank you, Eloan. I will use this shield to defend my kingdom and to protect Eldoria from the dangers that threaten it." Eloan smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "You have earned the right to wield the shield, and I have no doubt that you will use it wisely. The hidden kingdom of Eldoria is in great need of your strength and courage. Go now and fulfill your destiny." With the enchanted shield in hand, Aidan felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. He made his way back through the cavern, the shield's light guiding his steps. As he emerged from the cave, Aidan was greeted by the first light of dawn. Elias and Luna were waiting for him, their faces lighting up with joy at the sight of the shield. "You did it, Aidan!" Elias exclaimed, his eyes shining with pride. "The enchanted shield is yours!" Aidan smiled, lifting the shield high. "Yes, and now we must continue our journey. The hidden kingdom of Eldoria awaits, and with this shield, we will protect it from harm." With a renewed sense of determination, Aidan, Elias, and Luna set off once more, their hearts filled with hope and the promise of a brighter future. The path ahead was uncertain, but Aidan knew that with the enchanted shield by his side, he could face any challenge and emerge victorious. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the landscape, Aidan, Elias, and Luna began their journey towards Eldoria. The enchanted shield hung securely at Aidan's side, its magical aura a comforting presence. The path ahead was steep and challenging, but their spirits were high, buoyed by the success of their quest thus far. The terrain grew more rugged as they ventured deeper into the mountains. Narrow paths wound through rocky outcrops and dense forests, the air growing cooler and crisper with each step. Yet, there was a sense of anticipation, a feeling that they were drawing ever closer to their destination. As they neared the summit of a particularly treacherous pass, Aidan caught sight of a distant valley shrouded in mist. Nestled within this valley, partially hidden from view, lay the hidden kingdom of Eldoria. The sight filled him with a sense of awe and determination. Eldoria was a place of legend, known for its beauty and its mysteries. "We're almost there," Aidan said, his voice filled with resolve. "Eldoria lies just beyond this pass. We must be ready for whatever awaits us." Elias nodded, his expression serious. "We've come this far, Aidan. Together, we'll face whatever challenges lie ahead." With renewed determination, they continued their descent into the valley. The path wound through a dense forest, the trees towering overhead like ancient sentinels. The air was filled with the sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant murmur of a stream. As they emerged from the forest, they found themselves at the edge of a vast, shimmering lake. The water was crystal clear, reflecting the sky above like a mirror. On the far shore, partially obscured by the mist, stood the majestic city of Eldoria. Its spires and towers rose high into the sky, gleaming with an ethereal light. Aidan felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. They had reached Eldoria, but their journey was far from over. The kingdom was in danger, and it was up to them to protect it. As they made their way around the lake, they were greeted by a group of Eldorian guards. The guards were tall and imposing, clad in armor that gleamed with a soft golden light. Their leader, a stern-looking man with piercing blue eyes, stepped forward to greet them. "Welcome, travelers," he said, his voice resonating with authority. "I am Captain Thalion, commander of the Eldorian Guard. We have been expecting you." Aidan stepped forward, bowing respectfully. "I am Prince Aidan of Arendor, and this is my squire, Elias. We come bearing the enchanted shield, and we are here to offer our aid." Captain Thalion's stern expression softened slightly. The enchanted shield is a powerful relic, and its presence here brings hope to our people. The kingdom of Eldoria faces a grave threat, and we are in dire need of your help. As they entered the city, Aidan was struck by its beauty and serenity. The streets were lined with elegant buildings, their walls adorned with intricate carvings and colourful mosaics. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of music drifted through the streets. Captain Thalion led them to the palace, a magnificent structure of white stone and gold. Inside, they were greeted by King Aemon and Queen Lyra, the rulers of Eldoria. The king and queen were regal and graceful, their eyes filled with a mix of hope and concern. "Welcome to Eldoria, Prince Aidan," King Aemon said, his voice warm and inviting. "We are grateful for your presence and for the enchanted shield. Our kingdom faces a dark and powerful enemy, and we need your help to defend it." Queen Lyra stepped forward, her eyes shining with gratitude. "The shield has chosen you, Aidan, and with it, you have the power to protect our kingdom. Will you help us in our time of need?" Aidan bowed deeply. "I am honored to be here, and I pledge to defend Eldoria with all my strength. Together we will overcome this threat and restore peace to your kingdom." The king and queen smiled, their expressions filled with relief and hope. "Thank you, Aidan," King Aemon said. "We will stand together and face whatever comes." As they left the palace, Aidan felt a sense of purpose and determination. The enchanted shield was more than just a powerful relic. It was a symbol of hope and protection. With it, he would defend Eldoria and ensure that its people could live in peace and safety. The journey to Eldoria had been long and arduous, but it was only the beginning. With the enchanted shield at his side and the support of his friends and allies, Aidan was ready to face the challenges ahead and fulfill his destiny as a protector and hero. Chapter 2: Defending the Hidden Kingdom. The next morning, as dawn's first light bathed Eldoria in a golden glow, Aidan, Elias and Luna prepared for the day ahead. The city buzzed with a sense of urgency and hope, the news of the enchanted shield's arrival spreading quickly among the people. Aidan felt the weight of their expectations, but his resolve was unwavering. He knew he had a crucial role to play in the defense of this hidden kingdom. Captain Thalion led them through the bustling streets of Eldoria to a grand hall where the kingdom's leaders had gathered. The hall was filled with maps, strategic plans, and the murmurs of anxious discussions. Aidan, with the enchanted shield strapped securely to his back, felt the gravity of the situation settle around him like a heavy cloak. King Aemon and Queen Lyra stood at the head of the room, their faces etched with concern. When they saw Aidan, a flicker of hope ignited in their eyes. The king beckoned him forward, and the room fell silent. "Prince Aidan, we are grateful for your swift arrival," King Aemon began, his voice resonating with authority. "Eldoria faces a threat unlike any we have encountered before. Dark forces are gathering at our borders, led by a sorcerer named Malgor. His magic is powerful, and his intentions are malevolent." Queen Lyra stepped forward, her expression earnest. "Our defenses are weakening, and our people are living in fear. The enchanted shield is our last hope. With its power, we believe we can turn the tide and protect Eldoria from destruction." Aidan nodded, feeling the weight of their words. "I am here to help, and I will do everything in my power to defend Eldoria. Tell me what needs to be done." Captain Thalion unfurled a large map on the table, pointing to a dense forest that bordered the kingdom. Malgor's forces have been spotted in the enchanted forest. They are gathering their strength, preparing for an assault. We need to fortify our defenses and prepare for battle. Aidan studied the map, his mind racing with strategies. We should send scouts to monitor their movements and gather intelligence. If we know their plans, we can anticipate their attacks and respond more effectively. Elias, who had been listening intently, chimed in. "We should also strengthen our magical defenses. Malgor's sorcery is powerful, but with the right enchantments, we can protect our city and our people." Queen Lyra smiled at Elias's suggestion. "We have some of the finest mages in Eldoria. They can work on reinforcing our magical barriers while we prepare our soldiers. With a plan in place, everyone in the hall set to work. Scouts were dispatched to the enchanted forest, and the mages began weaving powerful enchantments to shield the city. Aidan and Elias joined the soldiers in their preparations, training and fortifying their defences. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Aidan took a moment to reflect. The enchanted shield felt warm against his back, a constant reminder of his mission. He could feel its power coursing through him, filling him with strength and determination. Later that day, the scouts returned with urgent news. Malgor's forces were indeed gathering in the forest, preparing for a massive assault. The sorcerer himself had been seen, his dark presence a looming threat. "We don't have much time," Captain Thalion said, his expression grim. "We must be ready to face them by dawn." Aidan nodded, his resolve hardening. "We will be ready. Eldoria will not fall." As night fell, the city of Eldoria braced itself for the coming battle. Torches lit the streets, and the sound of soldiers preparing for war filled the air. Aidan stood on the city walls, looking out towards the forest. The enchanted shield gleamed in the moonlight, a beacon of hope in the darkness. "We will protect this kingdom," Aidan said softly, his voice carrying a quiet determination. "No matter what it takes." Elias joined him, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We're with you, Aidan. Together, we'll face whatever comes." With his friends and allies by his side, Aidan felt a surge of confidence. The hidden kingdom of Eldoria had called for help, and he had answered. Now, it was time to defend it with all his might. As the first light of dawn broke over Eldoria, casting a soft glow across the city, Aidan and Elias prepared for the coming battle. The soldiers stood ready, their faces etched with determination. The air was thick with anticipation, and the magical barriers surrounding the city shimmered faintly, a testament to the mages' tireless work. Captain Thalion approached Aidan and Elias, his expression grave. "There is something you need to know before the battle begins," he said. "Eldoria's vulnerability stems from an ancient curse. The curse weakens our defenses, making us susceptible to Malgor's dark magic." Aidan's brow furrowed. "A curse? How can it be broken?" Thalion sighed deeply. "The curse was placed on Eldoria centuries ago by a vengeful sorceress. It can only be broken by someone pure of heart who wields the enchanted shield. You, Prince Aidan, are the one destined to lift this curse." Aidan felt a surge of determination. "Tell me what I must do." Thalion led them to the heart of Eldoria, where a grand temple stood. Its towering spires reached towards the sky, and intricate carvings adorned its walls. Inside, the temple was bathed in a warm golden light. At the center of the chamber, an ancient altar stood, surrounded by glowing runes. "This is the altar of Eldoria," Thalion explained. "To break the curse, you must place the enchanted shield on the altar and speak the incantation inscribed on the runes. The magic of the shield, combined with your pure heart, will lift the curse and restore our defenses." Aidan nodded, gripping the enchanted shield tightly. He approached the altar, feeling the weight of his responsibility. As he placed the shield on the altar, the runes began to glow brighter, and a soft hum filled the air. Taking a deep breath, Aidan read the incantation aloud. The words flowed smoothly, resonating with a powerful energy. As he finished, the light from the runes intensified, enveloping the shield in a brilliant glow. The ground beneath them trembled, and a wave of magic surged through the temple, radiating outwards. Outside, the magical barriers around Eldoria shimmered and solidified, their strength renewed. The soldiers and mages felt the shift, a palpable sense of relief washing over them. The curse had been lifted. Aidan stepped back from the altar, his heart pounding with exhilaration. He could feel the shield's power resonating within him, its magic now fully awakened. "Thank you, Aidan," Thalion said, his voice filled with gratitude. "You have given us a fighting chance." Elias clapped Aidan on the back. "We're ready now. Let's show Malgor that Eldoria is not to be trifled with." As they emerged from the temple, the first rays of sunlight pierced the horizon, illuminating the city and the forest beyond. Aidan could see the dark shapes of Malgor's forces moving through the trees, their ominous presence a stark contrast to the serene beauty of Eldoria. The city's defenses were bolstered, but the battle was imminent. Aidan knew that the real test lay ahead. He and Elias joined the soldiers on the city walls, ready to lead the charge. From the forest's edge, Malgor's army emerged, a sea of dark figures marching in unison. At their head, the sorcerer himself rode a massive black stallion. His eyes glowed with malevolence, and his presence exuded a palpable sense of dread. Malgor raised his staff, his voice echoing across the battlefield. "People of Eldoria, surrender now, and I may spare your lives. Resist and face utter destruction." Aidan stepped forward, the enchanted shield gleaming in the morning light. "Eldoria will never surrender to darkness, Malgor. We stand united and will defend our home with every ounce of our strength." A murmur of agreement rippled through the soldiers, their resolve hardening. Malgor's lips curled into a sinister smile. "Very well. Let the battle begin." With a wave of his staff, Malgor unleashed a torrent of dark magic towards the city. The enchanted barriers held firm, deflecting the attack with a brilliant flash of light. The Eldorian soldiers responded with a volley of arrows, their determination unwavering. Aidan felt the power of the shield coursing through him, its magic a source of strength and protection. As Malgor's forces advanced, Aidan led the charge, the enchanted shield glowing brightly in his hand. The clash of swords and the roar of battle filled the air, but Aidan's heart remained steady. With the curse lifted and the shield's power fully awakened, Aidan knew that they had a fighting chance. Eldoria would not fall to darkness. They would fight with all their might, united by their love for their home and their unwavering courage. As the battle raged on, The forces of Eldoria and Malgor clashed with unrelenting fury. The sound of metal against metal rang through the air, and the ground trembled under the weight of their struggle. Aidan, wielding the enchanted shield, stood at the forefront, his presence a beacon of hope for his allies. Despite the chaos, Aidan's movements were fluid and precise. The shield's magic pulsed through him, enhancing his strength and agility. Each strike he made with his sword was met with the shield's protective glow, deflecting blows and repelling dark magic. The soldiers of Eldoria, inspired by Aidan's bravery, fought with renewed vigor. Amidst the fray, Elias moved with the swiftness and cunning of a seasoned warrior. His keen eyes scanned the battlefield, identifying threats and coordinating their defense. His quick thinking and strategic mind were invaluable, turning the tide in their favor time and again. As the morning wore on, it became clear that the battle would not be won easily. Malgor's dark magic was powerful, and his army was relentless. Despite their best efforts, the forces of Eldoria began to tire, their strength waning under the relentless assault. Just as hope began to waver, a horn sounded from the western hills. A collective gasp rose from the Eldorian soldiers as reinforcements appeared on the horizon. It was the elven warriors of Lothenwood, their long golden hair gleaming in the sunlight, their bows drawn and ready. Leading them was Lady Arwen, the elven queen. She was a vision of grace and power, her silver armor glinting in the light. Her eyes met Aidan's, and she nodded in acknowledgement. "We come to aid you, Prince Aidan," she called, her voice carrying over the din of battle. "Eldoria's fate concerns us all." With the arrival of the elves, the battle's momentum shifted. Their arrows flew with deadly precision, striking down Malgor's soldiers and breaking their ranks. The combined forces of Eldoria and Lothenwood pressed the advantage, driving the enemy back. But Malgor was not easily defeated. From his position atop his black stallion, he unleashed a torrent of dark magic, aiming directly at Aidan. The force of the attack was immense, but Aidan raised the enchanted shield just in time. The shield absorbed the dark energy, its runes glowing brightly as it protected him. "You are resilient, Prince Aidan," Malgor sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "But you cannot withstand my power forever." Aidan met Malgor's gaze, his eyes filled with determination. "I will fight for Eldoria until my last breath. Your darkness will not prevail." As the battle continued, Aidan and Elias found themselves facing Malgor's elite guard. These warriors were formidable, their skills honed to perfection. But with the enchanted shield, Aidan deflected their attacks, creating openings for Elias to strike with precision. Amidst the chaos, a shadowy figure moved with lethal grace. It was Nera, a dark sorceress, and Malgor's most trusted lieutenant. She wielded a staff of twisted black wood, and her magic crackled with malevolence. Elias, recognizing the threat she posed, engaged her in battle. The clash of their magic and weapons was intense, each trying to outmaneuver the other. Nira's dark spells were powerful, but Elias's quick reflexes and strategic mind kept him one step ahead. As the fight between Elias and Nira intensified, Aidan pressed on towards Malgor. The dark sorcerer was a formidable opponent, but Aidan felt the shield's power coursing through him, bolstering his courage. With each step, he grew more confident, his resolve unshakable. Their eyes locked across the battlefield, and Aidan knew that the final confrontation was near. Malgor raised his staff, a dark aura surrounding him. "This ends now, Prince Aidan," he declared, his voice echoing with dark magic. Aidan raised the enchanted shield, its light shining brightly. "For Eldoria!" he shouted, charging towards Malgor. The clash was monumental. Malgor's dark magic met the shield's protective power in a blinding explosion of light and darkness. The ground shook, and a powerful shockwave rippled through the battlefield, momentarily halting the combatants in awe. When the dust settled, Aidan stood firm, the enchanted shield glowing with an intense light. Malgor staggered back, his dark aura flickering. The battle was far from over, but Aidan knew they had gained the upper hand. With renewed determination, the forces of Eldoria and Lothenwood pressed forward. The alliance of humans and elves proved formidable, their combined strength overwhelming Malgor's army. Victory was within their grasp, but Aidan knew the final blow must be struck. As he prepared for the decisive moment, Aidan felt the weight of his responsibility. The fate of Eldoria rested on his shoulders, and he was ready to see it through to the end. The morning sun climbed higher, casting a golden glow over the battlefield. The combined forces of Eldoria and Lothenwood advanced with renewed vigor, their spirits lifted by Aidan's courage and the power of the enchanted shield. The enemy forces, though formidable, began to waver under the relentless assault. Aidan pressed forward, his eyes locked on Malgor, who stood at the center of the battlefield, his dark aura pulsating with malevolence. The sorcerer's eyes gleamed with a mixture of anger and anticipation. With a wave of his staff, Malgor summoned a wave of dark energy, which surged towards Aidan like a tidal wave. Raising the enchanted shield, Aidan braced himself. The shield's runes glowed brightly, absorbing the dark energy and dispersing it harmlessly into the air. With a fierce battle cry, Aidan charged towards Malgor, determined to end the sorcerer's reign of terror. As Aidan closed the distance, Malgor unleashed a series of powerful spells, each one deflected by the shield's protective magic. The ground around them shook, and the air crackled with energy. It was a battle of wills, light against darkness, and Aidan felt the weight of his destiny pressing upon him. Nearby, Elias continued his fierce duel with Nira. The dark sorceress was a formidable opponent, her magic deadly and precise. But Elias, with his quick reflexes and strategic mind, matched her blow for blow. Their battle was a dance of shadows and light, each strike a testament to their skill and determination. "You're skilled, but you cannot win," Nira hissed, her eyes narrowing as she summoned a dark flame. Elias dodged the attack, his eyes blazing with determination. "We'll see about that," he retorted, countering with a burst of light that sent Nera staggering. In the midst of the chaos, the elven archers rained down arrows upon the enemy forces, their precision unmatched. Lady Arwen, her silver armor gleaming, led her warriors with grace and strength, her presence a rallying point for all who fought. The alliance between Eldoria and Lothenwood was strong, their combined forces pushing back the darkness inch by inch. Malgor, realizing his forces were faltering, let out a roar of frustration. "This ends now!" he bellowed, raising his staff high. Dark clouds gathered above, and lightning crackled through the sky. Aidan knew that the final confrontation was upon them. Summoning all his strength, Aidan charged at Malgor, the enchanted shield blazing with light. Their clash was titanic, the force of their collision sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The shield's magic repelled Malgor's dark energy, creating a blinding explosion of light. When the light faded, Aidan and Malgor stood locked in combat, their powers evenly matched. "You cannot win, Malgor," Aidan said, his voice steady and resolute. "The light will always prevail." Malgor sneered, his eyes burning with fury. "Foolish prince, you underestimate the power of darkness." With the final desperate effort, Malgor unleashed his most powerful spell, a vortex of shadow that threatened to engulf Aidan. But Aidan, his heart filled with determination and the power of the shield, stood his ground. The enchanted shield glowed brighter than ever, its magic forming a protective barrier around him. Drawing on the shield's power, Aidan focused his will, channeling the light into a single powerful blast. The force of the blast shattered Malgor's dark spell, the light piercing through the sorcerer's defenses. Malgor screamed as the light enveloped him, his dark form disintegrating into nothingness. With Malgor's defeat, the dark forces began to crumble. The soldiers of Eldoria and Lothenwood cheered, their victory assured. The elven archers continued to drive back the remaining enemy forces, and the battlefield was soon cleared of darkness. Elias, having defeated Nera, joined Aidan. "We did it, Aidan," he said, his voice filled with relief and pride. "Malgor is defeated, and Eldoria is safe." Aidan nodded, a sense of peace washing over him. The battle had been hard fought, but their courage and unity had won the day. The enchanted shield, now glowing softly, had fulfilled its purpose. Lady Arwen approached, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You have done a great service for Eldoria, and for all who cherish the light," she said, bowing her head in respect. Aidan smiled, his heart full. "We fought together, and together we prevailed. Eldoria will thrive, and its people will know peace." As the sun set over the battlefield, casting a warm, golden light over the land, the people of Eldoria and Lothenwood celebrated their hard-won victory. The hidden kingdom was safe, and a new era of peace and prosperity dawned. As the echoes of victory faded and the celebrations began, Aidan took a moment to reflect on the battle and the journey that had led him to this point. The enchanted shield, its surface still glowing with residual magic, felt like an extension of his own spirit, a testament to the bond he had forged with its ancient power. King Aemon and Queen Lyra approached Aidan, their faces filled with gratitude and admiration. "You have saved Eldoria, Prince Aidan," King Aemon said, his voice resonating with emotion. "The enchanted shield has proven its true power in your hands." Queen Lyra smiled warmly, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "You have given us hope and a future. For that, we are forever in your debt." Aidan bowed humbly. "It was an honor to fight for Eldoria. The shield's power is not mine alone. It belongs to all who stand for light and justice." Lady Arwen stepped forward, her expression serene. "The alliance between Eldoria and Lothenwood is now stronger than ever. Together we will ensure that peace and prosperity reign for generations to come." As the night deepened, the city of Eldoria became a place of festivity and joy. The streets were adorned with lanterns, and music filled the air. The people danced and sang, their hearts lightened by the knowledge that the dark threat had been vanquished. Elias, standing beside Aidan, looked around with a satisfied grin. "We did it, Aidan. We truly did it." Aidan smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "Yes, we did. But the journey is not over. The shield's power must be used wisely to protect and nurture, not just in times of war, but in times of peace as well." The next morning, as the sun rose over the rejuvenated kingdom, Aidan stood before the Eldorian council. King Aemon addressed the assembly, his voice filled with reverence. "Today we honor Prince Aidan and his companions for their bravery and for bringing the enchanted shield to our aid. Their actions have not only saved Eldoria, but have also strengthened the bonds of friendship and alliance with Lothenwood." The council members, along with the people of Eldoria, erupted in applause. Aidan felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that his efforts had made a difference. As the council session ended, Aidan met with the city's mages to learn more about the shield's powers. The head mage, a wise and elderly man named Alaric, guided him to a secluded chamber filled with ancient scrolls and magical artifacts. "The enchanted shield is a relic of immense power," Alaric explained. "Its true strength lies not only in its ability to protect, but also in its capacity to heal and empower those who are worthy. It responds to the heart and soul of its bearer, enhancing their innate qualities." Aidan listened intently, absorbing the knowledge. He understood that the shield's power was a responsibility, one that he must wield with wisdom and compassion. As he touched the shield, he felt its magic resonate with his own spirit, a harmonious blend of energy that filled him with purpose. In the following days, Aidan and Elias worked alongside the Eldorian leaders to rebuild and fortify the kingdom. The mages used the shield's power to heal the wounded and restore the land, its magic flowing through Aidan like a river of light. The people of Eldoria, inspired by the shield's presence, worked tirelessly to rebuild their homes and strengthen their defenses. Lady Arwen and her elven warriors remained in Eldoria, their expertise invaluable in training the soldiers and fortifying the city's magical barriers. The bond between the two realms grew stronger with each passing day. Their shared commitment to peace and protection uniting them in purpose. As the weeks turned into months, Eldoria flourished. The scars of battle faded, replaced by a renewed sense of hope and unity. The enchanted shield, once a legendary artifact, became a symbol of the kingdom's resilience and strength. Aidan, now a revered hero, continued to lead with humility and wisdom. He knew that the shield's true power was not just in its magic, but in the hearts of those who believed in its cause. With his friends and allies by his side, he was ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the land, Aidan stood atop the city walls, gazing out at the beautiful kingdom he had helped protect. Elias joined him, and they stood in comfortable silence, their hearts full of gratitude. To think, it all began with an ancient book and a mysterious map, Elias said, a smile playing on his lips. Aidan nodded, his eyes reflecting the golden light of the setting sun. And now, we have a future full of promise and peace. The enchanted shield will always be a reminder of what we can achieve when we stand together. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Aidan felt a deep sense of peace. The hidden kingdom of Eldoria was safe, and its future was bright. With the enchanted shield and the strength of its people, the kingdom would continue to thrive, a beacon of hope and light in a world often shrouded in darkness. The weeks that followed were a testament to the resilience and spirit of Eldoria. With the enchanted shield's magic aiding the efforts, the kingdom was restored to its former glory and beyond. The alliance with Lothenwood brought not only military strength, but also cultural exchange, fostering a deeper understanding and friendship between the two realms. Aidan, now a beloved figure in Eldoria, spent his days working alongside the people, ensuring that the kingdom's defences were stronger than ever. The enchanted shield, always by his side, became a symbol of unity and hope. Its power was used not just for protection, but also to heal and inspire. One crisp morning, as the first light of dawn kissed the horizon, Aidan stood before a gathering of Eldoria's citizens. King Aemon and Queen Lyra were present, their regal presence lending gravity to the occasion. Lady Arwen and the elven warriors stood alongside the Eldorian soldiers, their alliance a shining example of unity and cooperation. King Aemon stepped forward, his voice strong and clear. Today, we celebrate not only the defeat of darkness, but the dawn of a new era. Eldoria stands united, stronger than ever, thanks to the bravery and wisdom of Prince Aidan and his companions. The enchanted shield has proven to be a beacon of hope, guiding us through our darkest hours. Queen Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the light of hope. The bonds we have forged with Lothenwood are unbreakable, and together we will ensure that peace and prosperity reign for generations to come. Aidan stepped forward, feeling the weight of their words and the eyes of the gathered crowd upon him. He raised the enchanted shield, its surface gleaming in the morning light. This shield represents more than just power. It represents our collective strength, our courage, and our unity. Together, we have faced darkness and emerged victorious. Together, we will build a future filled with light and hope. The crowd erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted by Aiden's words. The celebration that followed was filled with joy and camaraderie, a reflection of the peace and unity that now defined Eldoria. As the day turned to dusk, Aiden found himself at the edge of the city, looking out over the landscape that had become so dear to him. Elias joined him, his presence a comforting reminder of their shared journey. "We've come a long way," Elias said, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "From the ancient library of Arendor to the heart of Eldoria, we've faced so much together." Aiden nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "And we've grown stronger because of it. The enchanted shield has taught us that true power lies not in the artifact itself, but in the hearts of those who wield it. We must always remember that." Lady Arwen approached, her steps silent and graceful. "Prince Aiden, Elias," she greeted, her voice serene. "Lothenwood is honored to have stood with you in this battle. Our alliance will be a force for good in these lands." Aiden smiled, grateful for her words. "Thank you, Lady Arwen. Your people's bravery and wisdom have been invaluable. Together, we will ensure that peace and prosperity are maintained." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Aiden felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The hidden kingdom of Eldoria was safe, its future secure. The enchanted shield had fulfilled its purpose, not only as a weapon of protection, but as a symbol of hope and unity. In the months that followed, Aiden, Elias, and their allies worked tirelessly to strengthen the bonds between Eldoria and Lothenwood. They established trade routes, cultural exchanges, and joint defense pacts, ensuring that both realms would prosper together. The enchanted shield remained a revered artifact, its magic a constant reminder of the power of unity and courage. One evening, as Aiden stood atop the city walls, gazing out at the peaceful landscape, he felt a profound sense of peace. The journey had been long and arduous, but it had forged bonds of friendship and loyalty that would endure for generations. Elias joined him, and they stood in comfortable silence, their hearts full of gratitude. To think it all began with a mysterious map and an ancient legend, Elias mused. Aiden nodded, his eyes reflecting the golden light of the setting sun. And now, we have a future full of promise and peace. The enchanted shield will always be a reminder of what we can achieve when we stand together. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Aiden felt a deep sense of contentment.